All right.
Okay, should we start?
Yeah.
All right. Officially, episode 1, season 1. Nice click of Goodcock, Babcock, a Leafs podcast. And people listening and watching are probably thinking, "What's a Goodcock, Babcock?" I don't really know. Like, we don't know.
It's part of the journey.
But we've been talking about Goodcock, Babcock for a long time. I used to do a segment at the last company I worked for. It was Good Klopp, Bad Klopp. Jurgen Klopp, the manager of Liverpool.
Oh, on Full 90.
Yeah, on Full 90.
Oh,
yeah,
what
yeah.
a show.
And then I brought it over here. I'm like, Goodcock, Babcock. That sounds kind of fun. Anyway, Albert Vartanian, James Sharman, Shawn McCormick. This is the show, right? Where we talk about the Leafs as honestly as we possibly can.
Yeah.
Because we're, as Leaf fans, we've all been Leafs fans for a long time, but we're a little deranged, obsessed with our team,
Very true.
overreactive, like many other Leaf fans.
I think it's, we are actually, people will laugh at this, but we are somewhat professional in our jobs, right? Talking
This is true.
sports.
Right.
This is a chance to be completely unprofessional.
Which is nice.
That's a lie. Did you see the name of the podcast?
I know. That's my point, though. This is
There's a
unprofessional.
rooster on my shoulder.
Yeah. There's also, well, can we explain this, please, to the audience and those listening?
Yeah.
You might want to check out YouTube
Please.
and our social feeds just to see this logo that's being created behind us by the fine people at AI. It's really fucking terrifying.
AI at its
Shout out
finest.
Bruno.
Yes. So Goodcock, Babcock, a Leafs podcast on the old Leafs logo, not officially their logo.
Well, yeah, you don't want to get sued.
You don't want to get sued. And then you got me, Sean, and James on there with a big rooster on my shoulder to represent the Goodcock. So a Babcock is essentially Babcock is a bad thing. A Goodcock is a good thing, as Sean puts on his Babcock mask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so where should we start? New season, same shit from the Leafs. Let's be completely honest. And let me just put this out there. Yes, we know it's 4 games in. Everybody knows that. We get it. It's early. Doesn't matter. They lost again. They lose to the Florida Panthers. Oh, they went to Florida and they lost? No way. They did, Sharm. So the first segment on this podcast is just tell me how you really feel. Let it out. Be overreactive. Be pissed off. Be whatever you want.
Okay.
How you feeling right now 4 games in?
Okay, I was going to go the Nylander route here, but I'm not going to now. I'm just going to, after last night's game, major flags once again, albeit 4 games in. How can you go to Florida, the team that bitched you over the course of 5 games in the playoffs, destroyed you, embarrassed you, and to come out flat in that game? That really raises some big concerns for me. And I was really optimistic 2 games in, as all of Leaf Nation was, right? Yeah, the defense is awful, yada, yada, yada. But just the passion that I've always questioned around this team, and that's why they brought in these reinforcements, or so I thought. Now to see them play against Florida, and listen, overall, it wasn't a horrible game, but to come out flat against that team, the one team in the league that you have no excuse to be flat on, is Florida after what they did to the Leafs in the playoffs. That worries me greatly.
Yeah, you know what bothers me too, and the it's too early police will come out. Look at Las Vegas. They just won a cup. They're 5-0. No foot off the gas. And then you look at this Leafs team. They're allowing goals in the first period. They're getting scored on, I think, 4 straight games. And last week, here are my notes. Defense stinks. Marner's been average. What the hell is Domi? What the fuck is Keefe? Yesterday's notes, let me just pull it up.
Escalated quickly.
Slow start. What the fuck is Keefe? 3 of the core 4 look good. Marner's still sleeping. What is Domi? And that 4th line. It's the same. And honestly, I can probably keep this and go to the end of the season and might have the same questions around this Leafs team.
This Leafs team will look different halfway through the year.
How different?
Well, they're gonna have to bring up some young talent. Like you can't go through this season with the roster they're currently rostering.
I don't think so.
Sorry to Fraser Minton.
That's James Sharman's boy.
Reeves might find himself a seat up in the press box or somewhere else because he's looking very slow. You're probably not. Max Domi will still be on the squad, but man, he was icing the puck yesterday. He was turning the puck over like a lot of Leafs have. It's been rough, and the reason we do this podcast is because we can't afford therapy, and this feels nice.
Yeah, it does feel nice.
This feels nice.
I'll say this though: when we discussed this all summer after the signings in free agency, we said, okay, this team, okay, I like the direction it's going in, but clearly it's not finished.
Yeah.
The building of this roster doesn't seem complete. Defense, lower half of the roster doesn't seem right, and 4 games in, could that be any truer? Right, it's not finished, and I'm sure if we had Brett Tree Living on this podcast, who is never ever going to show up on this podcast, he would tell you it's a work in progress. Or we can say, right, because they have to change that bottom 6 one way or the other. Yeah. I mean, God, the line shuffling last night, I understand why he did it, but 4 games in,
do you understand?
What was preseason for?
Why can't he stick to something, Sheldon Keefe?
Well, because it wasn't working though. Was it?
If you don't give it any time, how are you supposed to know if it works or not?
Like Nylander at center?
Like, come on, like stick to something. Okay, I get Bertuzzi being shifted down a couple lines. He's clearly not 100%. Keefe has come out and said that. But, you know, you're moving Nyes around. You're moving Yarncroc around. You're messing with the top line. You're messing with the second line.
Domi at third line center to end the game.
I get shuffling around the bottom 6 because that's what the Leafs have been for the longest time. When you pay the guys, the top guys, the way that you're paying them, you're going to have to shuffle the bottom 6, and that'll change throughout the season. I understand. But 4 games in, you're going into a third period of the 4th game against the Panthers, and you're completely shifting around the lines. How is anything supposed to stick? How are you supposed to see if anything actually works?
Yeah, no, I'm baffled by it. And again, like Sharms alluded to, like last season, Florida comes in and they punch you in the face and you don't punch back, literally and figuratively.
Literally, yeah. And there was a little bit of that yesterday too.
And that happened last night. I mean, just like Sharm said, they came out flat, got behind early. Keefe is like, well, I got to shuffle the lines again. Like, I agree though. Like, it's got to stop at some point because you have to see what each member of this team is going to bring every night. Like, and it's tough to do if you're swapping out the chemistry of each line. And I want to see I don't want to say where the fault lies, because obviously you have your top guys. They're scoring the goals. Like, outside the core 4, I've only scored 3 of the 14 Leafs goals this year.
It's dead. It's
dead. And that's a problem. It was a problem last year. It was a problem the year before that. It's just who this team is. Like you said, as they pay the top guys, that's what you're going to get with this team. And hopefully you can find some scoring depth. That's what Max Domi's supposed to be. That's what Bertuzzi's supposed to be. Outside of those guys, like, I don't know where this scoring depth will come from.
I don't know why, but I do have a little bit of faith that Domi's actually going to figure it out. I'll give him a bit more time. He was injured a lot last season.
Yeah, he was. But did you hear Keefe's comments post-game yesterday? Saying that there's a lot going on in Domi's head.
Is that the pressure of playing here?
Yeah, I think so, which concerns me because we've seen many a Leaf over the years not be able to compete in this environment, which is, man, and look at Domi, with respect to the guy, his dad's a freaking icon for being a tough guy.
Sure.
Right? People expect a certain style of play from Domi, and he's going to mix it up, but I've seen this guy play for Dallas and play very well offensively. We get to see it, but I'm with you. I think he'll find it eventually. I think, you know.
I don't know, man.
But hold on.
I don't know.
Maybe the question is, like, before the season started, I'll start with you, Sean. What was your expectation for Domi, honestly? Was it 30 goals? Probably not.
20
goals, okay. Which
it still could happen. I'm just saying, like,
reasonable.
Like, if there's already something going on in his head and you're only 4 games in, and I know he's new to the team, new to the city. I'm sure he's been in the city before, obviously playing here against the Leafs, but like probably living here and being a part of that and just being a part of this market, it's very tough, but it's only going to get tougher, right? Like the expectations for this team is obviously high, and I get that he could be feeling that, but to me, there's got to be a reason why he's been on so many teams. And I know, like, some of that's mental, some of it's could be bad behavior, some of it could be he's just not performing as well as people think he should.
Can't play 2 ends of the ice. I mean, and all those, and listen, I'm the biggest optimist. When they sign these guys, I'm like, to hell with you, all these reporters saying, oh, well, he's going to be a liability. I've seen 4 games now, he's been a liability in his own end. And if you're playing bottom 6, you can't be that way. You've got to put a little bit of offense in, but you've got to be responsible in your own end. And can you change a guy who's, what is he, 27, 28 now? Mm-hmm. He's not a kid. No. It's kind of what you have with him.
Yeah, if you go through his career, which I'm looking at right now, he's had maybe 1 really good season with the Habs. His past couple of seasons, last year only played 20 games, 2 goals, 5 assists. With the Blackhawks, played 60 games, put up 49 points, 2 goals with the Hurricanes, 9 goals with the Blue Jackets, and a couple seasons with them.
He's got some pop in his stick.
He does, right? But I mean,
is he a top 6 forward on this team?
No.
But you can't put him there too because of his defensive liabilities too, right? Because if you're playing as a top 6 forward, you're playing generally against other top 6 forwards.
Why wouldn't you try him on the top line then? Because you have 2 defensively responsible players there, Marner and Matthews.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what you would do, I think that's something Keefe should look at. Have they already? Right? I don't know.
Maybe at some point
we don't see everything. I mean,
mix.
But yeah, man, I worry about the winger combination, like the Domi, Yarncroc, Nyes only got like 11 minutes last night or something. Like, I want to see a bit more from him on both
that
ends of the
bothers
ice
me.
too, right? Like that's another thing. Like, Keefe comes out and says, "Oh, I want to get him more involved," but then you only give him 10 minutes of ice time. Like, what are you doing?
I think Nyes looks good.
I'm fine
He's a
with
pure
him.
power forward. You're not going to get, I don't think you're going to get 30 goals from Nyes. I don't think he's that type of player.
Was
In
he a
college-
25, 40 kind of guy?
Yeah,
25,
probably.
50?
Like he just, even in college, he wasn't a big scorer. I think he has a different type of game. But if you put him with, Tavares and Nylander, if you throw him on the top line, he'll get his points.
Mm-hmm.
But he does so much more, I think, off of the puck that helps
I
the
like
team.
him. I got no issues
Like
with
if I'm
Nyes'
moving
start to the
anybody
season.
up to the top line, honestly, it's probably Nyes over Domi and over
Yeah.
Bertuzzi right now. Even though I do think Bertuzzi's going to come good.
And he's hurt. I
There's
think,
something
right?
going
There's
on with
something
him.
going
Yeah,
on
he
there,
wasn't moving around that great. And maybe some people watching this or listening are probably thinking we're a bit too harsh. But I mean, we're well
We're
into
Leaf
this.
fans. It's what we do.
Yes, but we're also, the Leafs are well into this project with these players. I think we're past the point of like participation ribbons.
and it sucks for the new guys. They catch
Right? Like
stray
it's-
bullets. You know what I mean? Like,
Like I said, you look at Vegas, they just won a cup. They've been good since their first expansion year, and they're still playing full throttle early on in the season. How you start, in my opinion, sometimes is how you finish as well.
But I mean, again, I'm not to beat a dead horse here, but what can you learn from 4 games in? Keeps trying new things, because if you look at the preseason this time around compared to previous preseasons, the main horses didn't play very much, right? He is still experimenting at this point. Fraser Minton's been a nice story. He'll be going down very soon. He's not ready yet for this level. He hasn't been awful, but he's done nothing. And Keefe said before the season began, can you help us win?
Yeah.
And he's not doing that. And it's not his fault. I think he'll be a serviceable NHLer one day. But he was dropped to the 4th line yesterday, Kampf up to the 3rd line, then it was Domi. It was so confusing.
Too much, man.
But what can you do? I mean, is it the question here, is it more about the roster building? And it's a work in progress, so let's not judge this team until a few moves are made. I heard someone saying that there could be a move made in the next few weeks for a D, because the D ain't good, right? I mean, Brody and Riley have been okay, been pretty good. I don't mind Klingberg myself.
I like
I know
Klingberg.
he's a liability.
He's
in his
on
own
my
end, but he's not there
positive.
for
He's on my
defense.
positive list because that power play looks fantastic.
Oh.
And I know it's not just Klingberg; it's Guy Boucher doing whatever. He's working his
He
magic.
talks a lot, doesn't he?
I love Guy Boucher.
He's always yapping on the bench.
He also looks fucking terrifying,
He does a bit.
like pure Bond, right? Pure Bond villain.
Mhm.
I love
Just
him
because of the scar.
just because of Scar.
Yeah.
I want to know the
Probably
story.
a lovely
the
guy.
slick back in the suit.
I
helps
want to
too.
know the story of the Scar. He's never told the story.
Was it hockey
Oh.
incident?
I'm assuming it's hockey.
Well, it could be a car crash. Could be something. Could be anything.
I hope it's not a car crash. I hope it's like he was in
Well,
a
remember,
battle.
we all know Frank Ribery. Soccer little connection.
I don't
here.
know why he has his
Car crash.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
I didn't know that.
Carlos Tevez was a boil of pot of boiling
Oh.
water as a kid.
You know,
I didn't
Two
know
of the
that.
ugliest players.
because
by the
of
way.
your accent, I thought you said cock rash.
well, not car crash.
No.
Cock rash.
Yeah, cock rash.
Well, this is Goodcock Babcock after all.
That's. I thought that's what you said at first.
Poor
Give me a new
guy.
segment,
Yeah,
Sean.
yeah. When
Give
he
me
was
a new
younger.
segment.
Yeah, I don't know.
Cock rash
He was
off
involved in
the
a cock rash.
off the game last night.
Car crash.
Oh,
Car-
sorry.
What was that?
Your Velcro couch is
Velcro
coming
couch
apart.
just went. If you want, I'll try and just speak in a Canadian accent so I get more.
No. We
authenticity.
want the English accent. We want the English accent.
Yeah.
I love Klingberg on the power play. The way he moves, the way he can pass the puck. He put some sauce on that puck too. That one pass he made to Matthews that went to the stands.
I
Yeah,
know.
I like
Lindgren
it.
was pretty good last night, I thought,
Yeah,
compared to his previous 3 games.
yeah. What have I liked from yesterday? I wrote down 3 of the core 4. Like I think Marner is. He's still trying to find his feet a little bit.
I was just talking to
Coughing
Stevie.
the puck in his
Talking
own
to Stevie,
zone.
producer Stevie, before this, and he is really one of those players. When he's not standing out and doing highlight reel plays, he's still getting points. And so far this year, it's like, what's Marner done? And what's he got? 6, 7 points?
Yeah, it's fair. He scored 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
That's fair.
and listen, we've discussed before, my Mitch Marner is a reclamation project in my mind this season. I haven't been impressed, shall we say, by his pushback over the last number of years
Are
of his
we,
career. Wonderful player, but
Are our expectations too high for these guys?
his expectations, what? A bit of effort? A bit of pushback? That's not much to ask,
yeah.
is it?
No.
Like, and again, not to say that the Leafs don't, but the way the Panthers played last night, just diving in front of pucks. The Leafs do okay at blocking shots, but just like their attitude seems to be like they just want it, man. Those Panthers.
Kachuk did the exact same
And-
thing he did in the playoffs.
And like they're like our new kryptonite. Like we haven't scored
It's,
more
you know what
than
the kryptonite is?
2 goals
you
on
know
them
what
in
the
like 7
kryptonite is?
games or something.
Well, Bob.
No,
Bob.
no. It's teams just play aggressive against the Leafs and still push them around. I don't care about Reeves. I don't care about Bertuzzi, Domi. I saw the exact same thing that I saw in the playoffs last night against the Panthers.
Yeah.
The Panthers were shit last night. Bobrovsky was okay, but they just wanted it more. They played harder. And when Spurs, oh my God.
Freudian slip there, Birdie.
Not Tottenham. When the Leafs were in their own offensive zone, and Jeff O'Neill on the broadcast last night for TSN intermission, he alluded to this. When the Leafs were pinned in their own zone, they were just getting pushed around, giving up too much space. When it was flipped the other way and they were in Florida zone, they were getting bodied. Like
so
crazy.
how do you change this?
I don't know. I have no
They,
idea.
they're not going to change the core four, apparently, right? And it's not all about those guys. Those guys played fine last night.
And they
right?
can't.
And they've been good this season so far. How do you change that whole identity of a team? The bottom six is so important for the identity of a team. But when you've got no cap space, are the kids in the Marlies ready to come up and provide that?
That's what it's going to be throughout the season.
McMahon's been great so far in the Marlies, right? Nick Robertson been great. But these aren't guys that are going to change the identity of a team. They're not going to offer pushback.
I think if you're relying on your bottom six to change your identity of the team, you got bigger problems, I think.
You know what they need?
Babcock?
My Babcock?
No, they don't need Babcock.
They don't. Nobody does. I'm just saying, I wasn't a fan of the re-signing of Sheldon Keefe, and I don't think he could change the identity of this team. I don't think that like a new coach could do it, but a new coach could help push that along, perhaps.
It'd be
a guy by the name of Guy Boucher?
Perhaps.
Well, let's not rip into Keefe just yet.
Nah,
Come on.
I've never been a big fan of
It's the same. I mean, we're ripping into the players. I mean, Keefe hasn't been around as long, but he's been around for a while.
How long did it
Yeah.
take him
No, you're
last
right.
season to call it the team? He's already called out the team.
He called him out early last season.
Like
in the
November?
season. No, it's earlier than that, I think. And then he took it back the next day because Mitchell Marner was upset about
So
it.
he didn't take this one back, at least not yet.
No.
So, I mean, it's Groundhog Day. It's Groundhog Day.
And well, listen, I mean, if they're coming out flat once again, right?
Yeah,
and
Tampa on
you
Saturday.
can't change all the players.
No.
And you're not going to change the coach just yet, but it is the coach's job to get them up for these games. That is a part of his job. Is it not?
Definitely.
I agree.
And so far,
And they get
against
scored
Florida,
on first.
he's proven he can't
4
do it.
games in a row. End the first period with a goal by Ekman Larsson last night. Bad penalties.
Bad penalties.
Oh, that Noah Gregor holding the stick, like he's somebody who might not be on the team.
and
for
the
very
Reeves
long.
penalty
I don't
off
know,
the
but
face-off?
he's playing Gregor, though, like late in games.
Yeah.
You know, we need some speed.
Yeah, I mean, you got to use somebody.
Man,
But they're
again,
making some bad penalties.
But you said it earlier. I mean, it's the same old thing with this team,
It's the
right?
same
When you
thing.
pay the top
Yeah.
4 or 5 players that much money, you got to be very lucky and very
Yeah.
creative to find the rest of the team that can actually perform and produce. Because
Yeah.
it doesn't work that way.
In terms, this is why a lot of diehard Leaf fans don't watch the regular season anymore. Because they know what they're going to see.
I thought it'd be different this year. Maybe it will be.
But that's every year. That's everywhere.
Next week we'll do this podcast, and we could be feeling completely different.
Next week we might need the harder stuff.
We're
we might need to break
four-
into the whiskey now.
4
I'm getting
games
heroin.
in.
Might
4
be
games
shooting
in.
up.
4
Yeah.
games in, boys. Okay, so I screenshotted a bunch of tweets last night from Leafs Nation.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
So we should
That's
probably
always
check
fun.
in to see how they feel. So this is from a Toronto guy. Bertuzzi is worse than Bunting. Domi is worse than Kerfoot. Klingberg is worse than Hall. Reeves is worse than when the Leafs couldn't sign an e-bug for some cap reason.
Jeez.
The Leafs team is very lucky to be 2-2, excuse me, because they fucking suck with 2 Qs.
Suck with 2 Qs.
2 Qs, yeah.
Like FUQQ?
That's from Crocodilius.
Okay, well that's
Oh.
right. Did he spell crocodilius right at least?
And 4 games in, listen to this one. This is when we on the internet. That was a crucial game to win, and we couldn't.
Crucial.
Disappointing.
Who was that?
You think we're overreacting?
That was a
we own the
crocodile
internet.
guy or something.
No. Okay, what else do I got
How
here?
can game 4? How can
Oh,
game
this
4
is
be
good.
Crucial?
I don't know.
When
This
you're
is from
2-1?
Angelo 1772. We might have to beep this one. Motherfucking cocksucking cunts the Leafs are. Just a fucking joke of it. Is this your burner account,
No, but
Charles?
listen, you can't be muting that. You can't beat that. That's authentic.
Holy
Nation.
smokes, man.
Wow, he's not happy.
Yeah.
At all.
Say okay, this is from Blood 23 Blue, Leafs Baby 23-24. Same shit, different year. They start like October, like shit every year. It's almost like a poem. We want something different, don't we? We're losing on Saturday also, guarantee.
Eh.
They could blow out Tampa on Saturday.
I mean, we overreact, but I mean, they take it to another level, right? I mean, we're not that depressed about it yet. There might be a time. There might be a time when we get that sad and that fired up about it.
All right, this is from Chad Reed, Reader 9712.
Oh, reader.
Reader.
Leafs gift another game brutal. So tired of watching this team play down to its teams it should crush.
Should crush Stanley Cup finalists.
I know.
Now, they were missing some big players, though. Brendan Montour's out.
Ekblad.
Ekblad, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Which makes
was
it
it
even
Bennett?
worse now when you
Bennett?
say that.
Yeah, it does, actually. Sam Bennett, yeah, he was out too, yeah.
It's going to be a long October. The first 2 wins were clickbait.
Long October.
Leafs are bad in their own
That's
zone.
great. First
Leafs are bad in their own zone. They can't make a fucking pass to save their lives. It screams lots of turnover in the offseason. Already talking about the offseason. Keefe needs to make lines and keep them for a few games. I agree. Guys need to get some chemistry together. This constant line swapping is stupid.
That sounds like a tweet we wrote.
I don't disagree with what he says.
That's the first tweet I liked out of those. The rest of the guys can fuck off.
And this is from I think this is from
that tweet was a good tweet.
This is from a Habs fan. It fucking rules that only 4 games in, Leafs Twitter is already freaking out. We're the best fan base, zero doubt. And then I have a picture of this guy. Anyway, I won't show that. So listen, we all kind of feel the same way right now. But it's okay to overreact. It's okay. Everyone's doing it.
We do it for your teams. Of course you do. It's just, I had expectations that there could be a different feel to this team, and people close to the team say there is a different feel to the team. And it is really, I mean, we're trying to make content here, right? It is too early to really judge this team. It's too early to judge Max Domi. It's too early to judge Tyler Bertuzzi. Ryan Reeves.
Yeah, even I've
got no problem with right now.
Yeah.
I know he's
Why is he okay? I'm fine with Reeves. I get what he is, and he's also a 4th line guy. It's fine, but I feel like he's taking the brunt of the shit for the way this Leafs team is playing.
From the numbers people, the analytics people who don't actually understand sport, and it's the 1.3 a year, which isn't.
Who cares?
Well, I mean, they could have kept Sam Lafferty if they hadn't signed a goon essentially for 1.3 a year. You could have gone for less than that, maybe. I guess not. I mean, listen, there must have been another few clubs out there who were prepared to pay Ryan Reeves, right?
Yeah.
You only give him 1.3.
Again, we celebrated him last week when he was dummying people, right?
Yeah,
So
of course he did.
now he's looking a little slow because he didn't dummy anybody this week. I would take a Sam Lafferty over a Ryan Reeves.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, you hope you get that sandpaper from Domi and from Bertuzzi and hoping that
Hold on,
somebody.
can we ban that fucking word on this pod? I don't want to hear
Sandpaper?
sandpaper. I don't want to hear
What would you
sandpaper.
use instead?
I don't want to hear grit. I don't
That's
want.
not.
No, I don't want to hear that shit. Let's talk like normal people
pugnacity?
talk. When you're sitting down with your buddies watching the game, does anyone say that? Hey, look at the snot on Roger Reeves. Oh, yeah, and they get in the corner. Look at that grit. No one says that.
Well, we talk about when you're describing Ryan Reeves and what he brings, what you hope he brings to the team, what would you use?
He's just a hard hockey player. He plays hard.
Really?
Yeah.
You like hard hockey players, do you?
I do like hard hockey players. I think you're sick, by the way. But I think you'll realize his impact as the season goes on. And once we get into the postseason, if he's changing the culture of that team,
in the postseason.
No, but maybe he doesn't even have to play.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels like he's kind of taken the team over already. Mm-hmm. He's giving them confidence. At least that's what we're hearing. And if that translates into postseason success, I'm cool with the 1.3.
I'm with you. I like Ryan Reeves. I've got no problem with that signing whatsoever. I understand that kind of player can bring a lot to a team and to change the team's identity slowly. It won't happen overnight, but you need to have that guy. And the players all say we love him.
And look at the Blackhawks game. Was Perry running around bullying people? No, not at all. He scored a goal because the Leafs were sleeping on defense, but Reeves kept them in check.
Perry will be available at the deadline.
Yes, 100%.
Oh.
To the question you're about to ask?
Would they consider it?
Yes. The problem is he's making $4 million.
Is he on 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the Blackhawks had to
so the
reach the cap floor, right?
So I said this when they signed Foligno. When the Blackhawks signed Foligno and Perry, I'm like, by the deadline, probably.
Yeah.
They're probably going to get flipped, and the Blackhawks will take, who knows, maybe 50% of his salary. Mm-hmm. Would you take Corey Perry for $2 million? Well, Leafs might not even have the cap for that. But if they do have the cap and he's available for $2 million, I don't know what you give up for him.
Well, by then, who knows, right? Like obviously, the money would go down as to how much he's being owed the rest of the year, right?
But then you got 2 bottom 6 guys, one on 1.3, another one on maybe $2 million. That's a lot of money, right?
I mean, it's not. Look at a lot of the other way the other teams are structured. It's not. It is for the Leafs.
Yeah, again, I think it's just the way they're built. They can't afford a $2 million fourth liner.
And Corey Perry, man,
they just can't.
He's got the sandpaper. That guy.
He's got grit and snot.
Yeah,
and sandpaper.
He's so ugly to look at.
He looks like an old man, doesn't he?
Stand him.
He's got that dog in him.
But he puts on a Leaf jersey. Love him.
Oh yeah.
Same with Brad Marchand. Can't stand him. Love him on the Leafs.
Of course.
Lucic, hate him. Love him on the Leafs.
Like I said, you love hard hockey players.
I don't know if I have that kind of capability. I still think I would hate his guts.
No, you wouldn't.
I still think I would hate his guts.
Do you think Perry's done enough in the last couple of seasons against the Leafs that would be an issue coming into the room?
No. Oh, with the players.
Yeah.
No, I think they would welcome it.
Yeah,
You'd rather have that guy on your team than play against him,
probably.
right?
I think the professionals that year that's the case.
I'd be
I
fine
don't know.
with
Do
it.
you think Mitch Marner would be okay with it? Do you think John
Don't know.
Tavares?
But
would
you
be
know
okay
who?
with it?
I mean, Reeves probably wouldn't be okay with it. He's been asked about him. He's like, I always hated that guy. I don't like him. He's a fake tough guy. He never fights.
Yeah, that's true.
So how does that work?
He said nothing.
Unless Reeves is just playing up to the crowd, right? To
No,
Leafs
he
Nation.
doesn't seem like somebody that would do that.
Why
There
not?
are certain people that I
The guy
like,
came out flexing in the first game of the season. I mean, he knows what he's doing.
He loves Toronto. He loves the spotlight.
He does. He does.
Yeah.
I'm a big Reeves guy. I'm fine with him. Fuck the analytics. He'll be fine. He'll be watching most games, but that's okay.
Yeah, exactly. And I like I said, this is a team that is going to look very different, like you said, by season's end. Remember last year they brought in 6 players
That's a
throughout the course
deadline.
of the season?
Yeah.
6
Yeah.
different players.
People seem to think there's going to be there is a big trade on the horizon. I just don't know what that trade
Who's
would
got
be.
big D? Has to be, right?
Can we? Who can we put out? Who else can we put on the LTIR?
Yeah, good question, actually.
Well, listen.
Sorry,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, I was saying, why? I mean, no one's talking about Tavares, right? And he's getting points. He's fine. He's playing well. Just a contract, right? When can he get a new deal? Is it this summer with Mitch? I think maybe the same year.
I believe so. Let me double check.
Because everyone's talking about Mitch Marner and you can get the new deal done next summer.
Mm-hmm.
No one's mentioning JT. And what is he looking for in a new contract? Because that is the albatross.
It's a
here,
good
that
question. It's a
contract.
good question, but I think I think he has to start playing
the
way-
last year of his deal is next season.
So he can get a new deal
Mhm.
this summer.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, I think it depends on how he plays. To be honest, I would say he hasn't earned the contract that he's played under over the last few years. Has he been good? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he hasn't been as good as the money that the Leafs are paying him.
What
So,
would you offer him in a new deal? He's on 11 and change right now.
oh man.
Fucking Perry's making 4.
Well, again, yeah, Perry
That's
wouldn't
a
be making.
one-year
four-
deal,
But
yeah.
four on
Tavares is a
team.
much better player than Perry at this point.
I mean,
yeah.
we need to talk about
It'd be like 6 probably.
take the
Yeah, something.
take the cap hit away and how much he's making. I mean, he's been pretty consistent. 80 points last season, 36 goals, 76 points the season
It's
before
been
that. In the 2020-21 season, he had 50 points in a shortened season, 60 points, 88 points.
He's been good.
Like he's held up his end
But
more or less.
at this point in his career, he and it's going to be declining. He shouldn't be playing center, really.
He looks better on his feet than he did last year, at least so
You
far.
think so, eh?
So
him,
far.
and, him and Nylander have this thing going on right now that's incredible.
Willie, yeah, first time we've seen that chemistry.
Okay, we should
Right.
probably talk about Willie.
Willie,
What are we doing here?
sign that fucker right now.
How much?
I'll give him 10 right now. And here we are talking about cap issues. And I was a year ago, I'd say, let that guy walk. I'm sick and tired of him. But he's won me over. In the playoffs, he was very, very good. This year, he is dynamic out there.
Is that
And-
because he needs a contract though?
Well, possibly, but I'd like to think that's not the case. I hope he's professional. But if he could be worth 11 by the end of the season. If he gets 50 goals, his price goes up. And then there's no chance they'll sign him.
If he hits 100 points, yeah.
Remember, they should have signed Marner the year before. They didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly he's worth 11 a year.
I don't know.
I would get that guy and listen, and then figure it out. Just figure it out.
I don't know how. I just don't know how you do it.
Well, cap's going up a lot, but already Matthews is eating into that a lot. But
And then, like you said, you got to decide on JT and Marner. And I mean, you probably just let JT walk, but I think the way this team has been built, I don't think the front office will let him go.
you know what I think you do, though? I think so. You sign, so you give him 10, whatever it is, to sign him, right?
Nylander.
Nylander.
Oh, oof.
Next year is suddenly you're in cap hell, no matter what. It's really
They
tough.
already are.
But the year after that,
Yeah.
JT's money can come off the books,
Yeah,
or you can
good
get into a
point.
much cheaper deal.
Mhm.
So it's 1 year. I mean, you'll still be in some, and the cap goes up. Be in a much better cap situation in a couple of years' time when you deal with that contract.
Yeah.
Next year could be tough, but you also have a lot of guys on 1 year deals right now as well.
You do.
Klingberg, Domi, and Bertuzzi, 1 year deals. So you got a bit of flexibility there. I think it's worth.
If
10.
they do
I
that,
mean,
though, producer Stevie Z will have to be the fourth line winger for the
good
league
call.
minimum next
Listen,
year.
Nylander's 27. He's got a few years at his peak, right? So you
You
want to
think.
sign him now.
the Matthews
Stevie,
window.
can you jump on here? Give us your take on Nylander. What should the Leafs do?
No, I think Willie's been really dominant. I look back to that Wild game. That first goal he scored was just elite. Him and Matthews in particular,
Yeah.
I really like the way they control play. So, me and Sharms were talking about it earlier. I really think he deserves 10. I think the Leafs should look at giving it to him. I don't know what you do with Tavares, though, and how it all adds up. But
I don't know either.
I do really want to sign Willie because I wouldn't want to lose a player like that.
No, I wouldn't either. And listen, like any other team, if the Leafs didn't have cap issues, the $10 million I don't think would be an issue. I think most teams would probably give Willie 10, right?
Open market, what's he getting? He's getting more than that. Don't you think?
But
Listen,
listen,
Chicago, for example.
the Aho contract was, I mean, if you compare it,
yeah, Timo Meier, yeah.
there's
But
a few
this
that
is,
make a bit less than 10. Maybe Willie's asking for 10 because of the market. And
I was about to
because of
say, you got to take
the,
in
the
market.
cost of living in the city.
Yeah, no,
Well,
it's
there's
true.
that. Well, I mean, our
The
boy
taxes.
CJ, Chris Johnston, was saying just yesterday, I forget where he was saying that he has no doubt that he's going to sign in Toronto.
He said
wants to play.
90%.
Yeah, he doesn't want to play anywhere else. He loves it here. The Leafs know that. So they're being smart. They're trying to get it down as much as possible, but in the end, he'll sign.
And we know Chris Johnson, he was on our show a few times.
Yeah.
And when he says something, he's saying it for a reason. It's not clickbait. So
No, exactly.
I believe it. What that number is, who knows how many years? That's the thing, too. How many years?
Well, you can get 8 here, right? Can't get 8 anywhere else.
8 at 10 mil?
Yeah.
Ooh, that kid video.
It's a lot. I don't know what you just said, but
No, me neither. But I think it was like, wow, that's something.
but hey, you can't ever say that on the show ever again.
That's a bad one. That's a bad one. No.
You said we went in this show.
I know that's what I was
Yeah,
trying
yeah,
to say,
exactly.
and he's trying
Oh,
to censor me. He's trying
hey.
to censor the tweeter.
Sean, before we started the podcast, you said you had a question you want to ask that you want to turn into a segment.
Yeah, like just
First of all, we didn't give you permission to create a segment, but
No.
let's go.
Big time.
it's not
Charlie.
a segment, perhaps. It's just like, hey, we're starting a new podcast, so people might want to know who we are and what
No one gives a
got us
fuck.
here, right? Maybe a little bit. So I thought maybe, hey, just like let's ask like some brief questions. So it's a short segment about like what about us, draws us to this team. Who do we like? What do we like? Favorite Leaf memory, etc. So my first question for this.
Hold on, can I just pose something?
Yeah.
I hate talking about myself, and that's weird being in the industry that I'm in, where I talk.
I do as well.
I hate talking. When someone asks, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" I cringe. I'm
I
like,
know.
I
media.
talk about sports.
Media.
Yeah.
It's so easy to
and
say.
my wife
though.
will look at me like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
Yeah.
I feel weird about it. So how about you tell the people about me, I tell the people about you,
No, 'cause
and
I
we
can-
tell the people about Sean.
I can't answer the question though. I have an idea of who. So my first question would be, who's your favorite Leaf of all time?
Oh, I see.
So like that would be my question.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to talk about yourself. It's not
Okay,
about you.
my
It's
bad.
just an easy question
Okay.
that you can.
That's a much better segment.
So like for you, I would think both your answers would be Gilmore, to be honest. But I don't know. So that's where I'm angling.
Yeah.
My favorite Leaf of all time is Matt Sundin.
Okay, I can't argue that.
And then
How would you compare Sundin to Austin Matthews?
oof. Yeah, no, they are comparable. I think good two-way players.
Was Sundin a good two-way player?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Pretty decent, I think.
He was a bit of a floater.
He could float. He could take games off.
Yeah. I think Matthews is more of a two-way player.
Sure.
A bit of a tougher
He's a better
player.
goal scorer. Like Austin Matthews is, up here.
I'd take Matthews a million times over Sundin.
Yeah.
Sundin, you know what? I
don't know.
I've baggage with
That's a
Sundin,
great
and the
question.
only reason is that Wendell was traded for him,
Mm-hmm.
and it turned out to be an amazing trade. But I loved Wendell so much. I really loved him.
Who's a better leader though? Not Wendell. I think Wendell's a good
Sundin.
leader. Sundin is a better leader.
I think
than
so.
Matthews.
Well, we don't know that though, right? At this point,
Oh.
I mean, he was captain when JT's Mr. Personality's captain for the Leafs. So maybe,
Yeah.
but from what I read, I mean, Matthews is growing into himself a little bit.
I
more.
feel like with Sundin, he was always in front of the camera, no matter what,
yeah,
win or lose, and he was taking on the chin for the rest of the team.
Yeah.
That's a sign of a
yeah,
leader.
personality.
Also, who else are you gonna talk to on those old Leaf teams? You know what I mean? Like,
Well, I don't know.
Jonas
Steve Thomas,
Jonas-
Darcy Tucker,
Jonas
Gary
Hoagland.
Roberts,
Oh, yeah.
Dimitri Yuskevich. I love Dimitri. You
Nick
know
and-
who
and
I
drop off?
Dimitri,
I
big
oddly
hitter.
loved when I was a kid? Jamie McCowan.
Did you really?
I don't know why. He wasn't
The
even that
stash,
good.
man.
It's a stash. But yeah, my favorite player is
Sylvain Lefebvre, I loved.
Oh, really?
Great stay-at-home.
Was he number 2 or
defenseman,
number
And he
3?
beat the living shit out of Rob Brown. Just
that's right.
down goes Brown.
Down goes Brown.
That was
That's right.
Lefebvre, right?
Yeah,
No,
Lefebvre.
Dougie was my guy as well.
Yeah,
Because I actually became a Leaf fan that year that he came to the Leafs from Calgary.
You weren't a big Dan Daou guy?
I honestly don't remember him.
You were Dan Daou. Yeah, I'm a big. I'll go Dougie. The 90s team, man. It was
Yeah.
Early 90s team.
I love Gary Roberts.
Oh.
I love power forwards. I mean, Dougie wasn't a power forward, but generally speaking, I love power forwards. Tough fuckers
Yeah.
who can score. I mean, I loved like Kevin Stevens back in the Kings, and I loved him. Brilliant player. I mean, Brendan Shanahan. God, I want him to be a Leaf, and he became a Leaf, but a little bit different role than I
Mimico's
expected.
own, Brendan
Yeah.
Shanahan. He's got to do. You got to do. We have a mask of him too.
Yeah, we got to do
He'll come on too.
Goodcock, Babcock.
Is he getting fired this year?
Nah.
Wait, his deal's up what, a couple of years.
If the Leafs get to the trade deadline and they're out of a playoff spot, what happens?
Oh man, I'll be panicked
They'll be.
Who
Keefe's
lose-
gone.
Keefe's gone.
I think so.
because there's an easy.
Treliving's not going anywhere.
There's an easy,
Shanahan's not going
easy
anywhere.
replacement for Keefe, right? He's right beside him.
Yeah,
Guy
exactly.
Boucher?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, who
Whereas-
else I don't even know who else is out there.
Well, Quenville,
Quenville, yeah.
if he apologizes, where the hell it is
I
with
think
the
he
NHL.
played for the Leafs.
Yeah, he did.
He did play for the
Yep.
Leafs.
Hmm.
Hey, just saying.
Bruce,
Nah, I would
Bruce
do-
Boudreau. He's not coaching him now, is he?
Oh, Gabby? I don't know why they call him Gabby. Do you know that?
I don't know. He's a
Yeah.
big WWE
No.
fan though.
But he's a massive Leaf fan. Like his boyhood club, just loves him. Played for them too.
What?
No,
I'll look.
But
It
anyway,
up now.
let's not replace Keefe just yet. It's 4 games in.
I'm ready to.
Yeah, I'm
not.
ready.
I'm
I
sorry,
like Keefe.
Keefe.
I like Keefe.
I'm ready to.
I'm ready to. I've been ready for a while now. Okay, this is your segment. What else do we got here? Like Kumbaya?
No, want a pod, man. They don't want to spoil.
want
the
a
beat.
pod,
So
okay.
your question was, Debbie, the whole segment was, who is your favorite Leaf of all time?
What a segment that is. That's your segment, bro?
What do you want?
I don't know.
It's just a simple. I didn't say it was a
I thought
segment.
it was gonna be
You
a
said it was
cave.
a segment.
Tell us about yourself.
What's next? If you weren't in media, what would you be in?
No, it's all Leafs related. You clowns. This is a Leafs podcast. Goodcock, Babcock.
Not bad. You can't even say the name
It's so
properly.
difficult, though. I say it all the time.
Goodcock, Babcock, at least podcast.
Yeah.
I wonder what this is going to mean for the rest of my career.
It's going to be a short career.
Oh, so what have you done in the past? Oh, I hosted a podcast
Here's a
called
podcast.
Goodcock, Babcock. Get the fuck out of my
Yeah,
office.
no kidding.
You're fired.
Yeah, MLSC. There's no future there.
Oh, there's no chance.
No.
I can't work for Leafs TV?
No.
God.
There's no such thing. It's gone now, isn't it?
Leafs.
Okay, anything else? I got nothing.
So they're playing Tampa on
We
Saturday.
got Tampa on Saturday, yeah?
And yeah, nothing. We'll reconvene next week and see where
we're
our
not doing
emotions are.
Goodcock, Babcock.
I mean, no, not really.
Okay.
We should do it, though, right? I mean,
Yeah, we should.
Just
We-
quick. It doesn't have to be long.
Okay.
okay, what do you got?
For my Goodcock, it's got to be Samsonov. I was hard on him
Goodcock.
last week. I'm saying last night's performance, he looked pretty good. And much better. I want to see him continue that trend, but he was terrible the first few games. Terrible.
I'll say average cock.
Yeah, average cock.
I wouldn't say good cock or bad cock
Yeah,
at
yeah.
this point.
Oh, well,
Like, not a full rooster.
Hey, a good cock can be subjective.
I guess you're right.
So
That's a good
that's
point,
my good cock.
Depending on lighting and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for my Babcock, I'm putting the mask on. It's got to be, I know you guys are gonna laugh. It's the ice, man. No matter what building they fucking play in, can we get some good ice? The puck was bouncing all over the place. Players falling over, both in Toronto and Florida. It's disgusting.
Well, Florida, that happens all the time.
Yeah, but it's not. It wasn't even that hot. It's not the summer.
Doesn't
You fucking fix
wow,
the ice.
Babcock to the ice.
Fix the ice.
Wow. Do you want to see the
Do you want
pictures?
to see a player blow out his ankle because the ice was bad? I don't.
No, I don't either. I hope it doesn't happen.
They got a
It
lot.
depends on the player, though.
What?
Depends on which player.
Well, I guess so. Is it on Leafs or not on Leafs? You don't wish injury on people,
Oh,
Sharm.
Corey Perry blew out his knee. Oh,
Oh,
that's sad.
That's a shame.
Okay,
Here's
Sharms,
my mask.
give me your good cock. 4 games in.
Man, 4 games in, my good cock.
Yeah.
How about
Give me your good cock.
Oh, shit, I didn't
Morgan
realize.
Riley? My good cock is Morgan Riley. He's playing pretty well.
No, he's not.
He is. He's doing just fine. He's not playoff Morgan Riley, but he's doing fine. I was a bit concerned because he was very average last season.
Yeah.
I say good
You
cock.
can't be
the D's
holding
been
up
really
Babcock
bad.
when you're saying good cock.
Oh, sorry. That's right. What do I hold from a good cock?
Well, use your imagination.
So good cock, Morgan Riley. That's a bit of a weak one. I know it's kind of weak.
No, that's fine.
Babcock. I hate to say it, and it's, but Fraser Minton is you got a taste and it's great. You'll be back, but I think the time has come. I don't know how much you're going to improve in the next couple of games. He's 19 years old, right? And you see this now and again. You see every year players come up, and then he may have a great World Juniors, but this team's lower 6 is not good at all at the moment, and he's not going to help the situation at the moment. So it's unfair. But Fraser, you're my Babcock. I think maybe my Goodcock this time last week, so it could change.
He was, yeah. And listen, if he didn't play in this market, no one would even know who he is.
exactly.
So just be happy.
And just
that.
because the bottom 6 has been so bad, he's kind of standing out.
Yeah. Okay, my good cock. I'm gonna say Austin Matthews on the penalty kill.
Mm.
When I first heard that he was going to do this and he was playing on the penalty kill in the preseason, I'm like, Why?
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you're risking injury if he's because he's been blocking shots, he's playing hard. But you tell last night against Florida wasn't as eager when they were on the power play when Austin Matthews was on the ice.
Yeah, scared, right?
Because a quick turnover and boom, he's scoring a goal. So I'll go Goodcock, Keefe. I'll give you credit for that. But then I got to go Babcock to Sheldon Keefe.
Yeah.
How about you just relax? Make your lines, let it play out, see how it goes, give it some time, let these players develop some chemistry. Don't change your mind every 3 seconds like someone we know who works for this company. And everything will be all right, man. It's a big Babcock.
It's a big Babcock.
It's a big Babcock to Sheldon Keefe.
All right. That seems fair.
You did yours, so we're good. Stevie, you want to throw a Goodcock or a Babcock at us?
Goodcock, I'll go John Klingberg. I've loved him on the first
Oh,
power play.
yes, good call.
And that's a power play that was second, just behind the Oilers last year, which was the greatest ever. But I still think it's gotten better for Morgan Riley. Spacing wise, it's a better look. Babcock.
Babcock,
see if I get that right.
Not a bad one.
I'll go Domi. Just hasn't done much for me too. I know it's early, but yeah, if I had to pick someone.
When is it not early anymore? When do we start saying, ooh, man, 10? 10 games?
Yeah, I think 10's fair.
For Domi?
Yeah. No, in general, just when we start saying we kind of know what this team might be now.
10, 15?
Yeah, I think so, around there.
December 1st? Is that the cutoff date?
How many games would that be?
I don't know.
That's December.
That's too late, I think.
Is it too late?
That's like 30 games?
Because you're giving him October, you're giving him November, the beginning of December. That's enough time to know what you got, I think.
It's not. It should be games, though, not like a date. Whatever it is. What do you think? I think
20
10,
games.
15.
I'll go 20 games.
20, that many, eh?
Give him some time. Takes time. He's a new team.
20 games.
It's
You
a
could
new
be out of the
team.
playoffs. You could be.
There's
rotting.
not a lot you can do there. You're locked in with him, right?
He's not going anywhere. You're not sending him down.
And I want to see. I know we're running out of steam here, but I want to see the core four get more ice time. I mean, Matthews was up there, Marner was up there, but Nylander I think was like 18. Like you pay these guys a lot of money. Give them as much ice time as they can handle.
Faltered in the postseason, though, right? You want to conserve the.
Well,
tank.
Marner and Matthews lead the team in ice time.
Yeah. Lead the team. But a lot of players around the league, your stars play 24, 25 minutes a night.
But you're just saying that the Stars have 11 goals and the rest have 3 goals.
So play them more.
So you
Play them more.
The disparity
so that
to
they
hell.
can
Who cares
score
about
more.
disparity? Just score goals. I don't care who scores them.
Well, I'm just
that's who I am personally.
No, I'm just saying. Well, your goal scorers need to be on the ice to score the goals because
Yes.
nobody else is scoring the goals for you.
And if the guys you spend that much money on should be scoring the goals, I'm fine with that. If it's
Yeah.
kind of a unfair balance, well, so be it. Sorry.
Which is why I'm a fan of Matthews on the penalty kill as well, because like put him on the ice as much as you can put him on the ice.
I don't like him blocking shots.
Me neither.
Well, sure, but
I don't like it either. But I mean, if he's on there, he's pretty effective, so I'm okay with that. I forgot to give a Babcock to Klingberg and McCabe as a pairing. Never again.
Yeah. Well,
McCabe looked okay yesterday.
beside Lilgren, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
They switched it up.
McCabe is McCabe, dude. He's not Brian McCabe. He's Jake McCabe.
Brian McCabe was criticized too. I never understood that. I liked him. He's great.
But he was better than Jake McCabe.
Yes.
Jake McCabe he's Jake McCabe.
But $2 million a year.
He's Jake, dude.
$2 million a
Well,
year.
that's the kind of analysis you'll get here.
Yeah.
On Goodcock, Babcock.
Jake McCabe is Jake McCabe.
He's Jake McCabe. There's a reason he was playing for the Blackhawks.
He's got a good name, like a tough, hard name though. So I think
Jake?
I like him. Jake McCabe.
Jake
That's
is not a
great name.
tough name.
Yeah, Jake
Yeah,
the
it
Snake
is.
Roberts, man.
Good call.
Yeah,
Never
Jake's
mind.
like
yes.
pirates are called Jake.
If you use Jacob McCabe, you'd be saying, yeah, that's a soft name. But once you change it to Jake,
Jake the Snake. If he turns into Jake the Snake McCabe, he's my favorite.
Grow his hair a little bit longer.
Yeah.
starts
Get a tash.
DDTing people on
Bad
the
tash.
ice.
Pulls a nice snake out of the bag, if you know what I'm talking about.
Good cook, back cook.
Good cock. Okay, I think we reached the end of the show. That was it. This is episode one.
That might be it.
Episode 1 of season 1 of Goodcock, Babcock. Shout out to producer Stevie Z.
Can I chime in here for a second?
Yeah, for sure. You cut me off.
Yeah, I guess I am.
Did you know I record? Or?
Hey guys, sorry I forgot to hit record.
We've aired out a lot of dirty Leafs laundry, but I just want to end on a positive. In the words of Ilya Samsonov, the sun will still come up tomorrow.
Hey,
Maybe that's how we finish the pod.
I like that.
That's what they said in Chernobyl as well.
I got nothing. Good night.